Whew. Okay. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited for this. This is beyond something I've done before. Most of my videos so far have just been me sitting in my basement being like, oh, look at this dinosaur. This dinosaur looks kind of stupid. That sums up my videos. This dinosaur looks kind of stupid. This isn't accurate. This dinosaur is not accurate at all. Well, guess what? I'm going to a real fossil preserve, a national park. There's no point in judging the accuracy of actual fossils because they are the accuracy. That makes sense, right? I'd have to put a lot of effort into it. I mean, I put effort into my videos, but this is a little more of a commitment that I've been doing. So we'll see how it goes. This is a video that I really have been wanting to make for probably over a year now. It requires me to go on site. It's called the Chazy Reef up in Isle of Lamont, Vermont. My idea is to make a video on it because honestly that is probably one of the few places in Vermont where you can actually make a paleontology video. Paleontology in Vermont is not non-existent. It exists, just it's a bit lackluster. You know, you can't find dinosaurs here. It's all Paleozoic stuff. But the Chazy Reef is really cool because, you know, it's the oldest fossil reef in the entire world. So that's gonna be something. And I'm excited. I just got the okay to film and to use drones on the area since it is a public place. I need to get permission to use drones and whatnot. I might conduct an interview. Who knows? But I have the okay to film there, so that's fantastic. But yeah, I'll try my best to film behind the scenes, have bloopers, deleted content, because I have no idea how big this project actually is. You know, I might go one day, film everything, and be done. It might be a multi-day process, but I'm definitely going to have to dedicate at least a day.
In 1/4 mile, turn left on US 2.
Of course, of course. Today's the day. I am on the way to Chazy Reef. I'm not driving.
The traffic light.
Do not worry. I'm not filming and driving. So my dad is helping me with filming and whatnot, and we are going to. It's the Chazy Reef is about an hour away from where we live. But oh my gosh, I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. I've been wanting to do this project since like the winter, which can't really do it in the winter when everything's covered in snow. My dad's gonna help me get some drone footage. It's gonna be great. I'm going to try to present things. I wrote a script and everything, so this is all scripted for the most part. I'm excited. I'm very excited for this. Okay, so we made it to the reef, and as you can see, it's there's a lot of reef going on here. And you can see all the different types of corals and whatnot. But yeah, now that we're here, I guess we should start going around, looking at the fossils, looking at what I can do here. Now, believe it or not, this rock here is actually a colony of organisms called stromatoporoids. At least I think I'm saying that right. These were microorganism builders, and they would build these big mounds like such. They could house all sorts of organisms. You see the swirl here. This is the fossil of a gastropod, or a primitive snail. Ancient cephalopod, an orthicone, and they resembled squids, except they had a hard outer shell, which is what's fossilized here. And they were pretty small. This is, I'd say, around 3 inches long. There's another one right here, but this is really cool. There's some more over here. You can see the lines of the fossil. And these shells were most likely made out of calcium carbonate, which is why they fossilize so well. It's a very hardy material. Works very well for fossilization.
So I fought with them for 3 years and actually ended up, formed a nonprofit. And so
When you look out here, it just looks like a bunch of rocks. And you need to know what you're looking for to be able to see anything really cool. Because there's a lot going on here. But this is a part of being a paleontologist. Part of being a fossil hunter is you go out into rocks and you crouch down and you look at them until you find something. But when you do find something, oh boy, that is really cool. And luckily, this is a known site. It's open to the public. We know fossils are here, so it really shouldn't take that long to find anything. Yeah, I see some really small ones. I don't know if this is just a streak or a graptolite. But yeah, if you look down here, like, there's a bunch of these tiny little shelled creatures, these shelled cephalopods. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here. Very, very tiny little guys. Now, since this is okay. Now that, I was gonna say something. Doink. This right here, this little circle, that's a sponge. 480 million year old sponge. Little baby gastropod. These here are the largest orthocones I've seen yet here. I don't know what that is. That's something. I don't know what. This here, right where I'm standing, is only a small part to the largest, not largest, oldest. See? And now I'll just restart. It's only a small part of the oldest diverse fossil reef in the entire world. Well, there's the first sentence. Date as far back as 480 million years ago to the I did it once, I can do it again. This is the Chazy Reef. Okay, and let's just run that again. Side view test. Pee pee poo poo. All right, here's a very obvious fossil. Right here. There's another one here. Another one here, you can actually see it's sticking out. Big one here. And I believe this is another one of our orthocones. The fossil itself, right here. And then it got broken off. So now this is the trace fossil. What if, I'm a crab brother now, was scraped away by glaciers thousands of years ago during the Ice Age? So what we have left is older. Why do you do that?
those are fossils of
Hi, I'm Ethan.
I'm Linda. Welcome. So my name is Linda Fitch. I live for 6 months of the year. I live here on Isle of Maud at a property called Fisk Farm. And Fitch and Fisk are very confusing. They're so close. Yeah, so I never quite understood that there was a very interesting phenomenon just in the back of our house. Previously, it had been a place where kids in the neighborhood loved to explore. There's a lot of wildlife there. It's partly dry land, it's partly wetland, so I don't know, about 108 different kinds of birds have been identified using the quarry and the wetlands around it. So it was a magical place to explore, especially if you were a kid. One day, I heard some sounds in the old quarry and went down to explore and found some people drilling. And so a company had bought the quarry and we're going to open it up again. Well, this was very disconcerting because a quarry is kind of a noisy place, and at this point in history, you come here for the quiet, the beauty, the peace, the wildlife. We kind of fought this operation, fought the company for 3 years, maybe a little bit more, with legislation, which was Act 250 legislation, and also wetlands legislation. We've got very good wetlands protection legislation here in Vermont. And boy, did I learn a lot about it. I was always tried to have as good a relationship with the quarry owners and the quarry company as possible. I'm a psychotherapist, and conflict resolution is a real interest of mine. Mm-hmm. So at a certain point, we had won enough of the sort of the Vermont wetlands hearings and various environmental hearings, so that we were in a pretty strong position. And at that point, it was suggested to me, and we did it, to make an offer to buy the quarry. Not for an individual to buy the quarry, but a nonprofit. So I quickly formed a nonprofit, very quickly. And we were able to raise the money that the quarry people asked for, and we bought the quarry, which is owned by the nonprofit now. And we were going by this place at one point, and there was a for sale sign, and my then husband said, "Oh, let's stop here." And I said, "You are out of your mind," because it looked so grand. That's the wing of what used to be the original house, visited by Teddy Roosevelt and even McKinley. And so it's still, even though that stone house burned and is just a ruin now, still the property has this sort of sense of grandeur. So I said to my then husband, "You must be out of your mind, because it looked so expensive." Well, we basically bought it for a song. And this had been the company store, so is sort of the main house. That little stone cottage was probably the first building on the property. The little cottage across right over there, that was part of the property too. And so we've been coming here ever since. I'm now here 6 months of the year. The oldest biologically diverse reef in the history of life on Earth.
I'm ecstatic right now. We just got a ton of good footage. Oh my goodness. I'm really happy with the footage we got. So now it's time to put it all together and make a video that is probably my most ambitious video yet. I have never, this is in a way like documentary style. I'm basing it off of what Tom Scott does, if you know who Tom Scott is. But it is very informational and hopefully very fun. So hopefully it's interesting to the viewers. Hopefully people watch it. If people don't, whatever. I had fun making it. I got to take a trip with my dad to a really old reef, and it was great. yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video when it's done. Actually, it'll probably be done by the time you watch this, since I'll post this after. Bye-bye!